Hi, my name is Alfredo from Alfredo's Auto Glass, and today we're going to be doing a 2015 M235. I'm going to show you the car. This is the car that we're working on. I already prepped the vehicle and I'm going to get started. And I have this new tool that I would like to share with you guys. It's called the Raptor. I'm going to use the Raptor with the ripcord. I've been asked a lot of times, how did I put these moldings? It's an undersided molding, so I'm going to show you the way I do it, my technique. So hopefully this would help you and you enjoy my video. Okay, so it's very important on these windshields to mark it and see where the molding is. Through the inside, there's an actual mark where you could see where the molding goes. So I like to put the moldings from the outside. So what I do, the little mark line that I created, just go easy on it, make that nice curve. I guide myself through the double-sided tape. The line of the double-sided tape, I try to guide myself with that line and put it on the very edge of the glass. So we already pre-inspect the vehicle, so we're ready to start working. So now you get to see my prepping. So in this turn, I make the turn and I start gluing it down slowly so that you get a nice even round look to it, and then just go over it. So it's very useful to have a lot of light, so you're able to see the glass, the edge of the glass, and you're able to see the double-sided tape molding. In this process, you want to take your time, just like anything else. You want to be patient with what you're doing. If you want it to look just like factory, you definitely want to take your time on it. As you can see, I removed the double-sided tape, so you don't want this sticking somewhere else. So gotta be careful where it's hanging from. If you mess up, you could just undo it and do it again. As you can see, I'm going about 2 inches at a time. Remember, keep an eye level, that way you see the nice turn. Nice. So as you can see, it's nicely aligned. And now what I do, I just go over it with my fingers all the way around. So this is me prepping the molding. You always want to make sure that the bracket is right. This is an original glass, so it's very difficult for it to be wrong, but it could possibly be wrong. So you want to make sure that the bracket is nicely centered where it's supposed to be. This one has little dotted area lines where it tells you where the bonding goes. There's a second one you can see there too, and more likely that's the one for the dam, the acoustical dam. I'm going to show you a way that you could reuse that dam. If for any reason I'm not able to reuse it, I have dam with me that I could use. Looks good. now time to primer my glass. So I want to follow this guide that are here marked with the lines. Now I'm going to turn it one time just to get a bigger coverage area. So now that that's complete and done, I'm going to flip the glass. Just don't want it to touch where you primered. So this is so that all the environment debris flying off doesn't hit my bonding surface. So time to start removing the parts. So I want to show you in this new BMWs, to pop the hood, they pull twice. You got to do it twice in order to get the hood open. So you don't have to do anything from over here. Let's start by removing the rain sensor, the interior in here, before I do anything else. On this ones, I find out to do it from down here. You just open it from there. Just like that. And the way to remove this rear view mirror, first I like to unplug the rain sensor. And then as well as the rear view mirror. It's not the easiest. The reason why I do that, because I have to push down on this rear view mirror to get it off. So gotta go side to side in order to remove it. And since you're putting force in it, you could damage the cables or the connector. You don't want that to happen to you. So I'm gonna leave that on there for now until I make the transfer once the glass is already in here. So now I'm gonna start my removal of the cowling. This is pretty simple now on pretty common on German cars now, where you have the same look alike cowling and the way it's put together. So that should be fairly easy. Like always, 16mm. European cars, they're not asking you to use a wiper puller. I mean, the bigger BMW for the bracket on the older BMWs, to remove the windshield wiper, you did need a puller. Okay, so this one's, remember, if you're trying to go to one side and it's not going, you do not want to force it. There's one hidden clip right there. See, on the 5 Series, you got to go the other way. You got to go counterclockwise. I'm sorry, clockwise. And this one I'm going counterclockwise on all of them. I believe it's a number 10mm, so it is. This one's something new. You just push it down and remove it. I like to hold it always because it could fall off really easy. You should always have extras anyways. I do have extras just in case I need to replace them. There's a little tab that goes into the fender, so be careful not to break it. If you break something like that, sometimes it rattles, so gotta be really careful with that. So now my glass is exposed, ready to start my cutout, and really excited to show you the Raptor. So I'm gonna be setting up the tool. It's already set up. It looks, if you own a Viper before, it's similar setup. This time I'm gonna be cutting towards the driver's side, so I'm gonna go counterclockwise. Give it a few turns and push a button, and guess what? You just place the tool like just like that, and it does a vacuuming automatically. And now time to feed the line to the outside. This is one way of doing it. The way I'm doing it is that I keep my little suction cup on the inside of the car, and I'm gonna put the line through the ripcord through as far as you can towards your right. You want to be careful that you do not scratch anything or anywhere, so just be really careful, very gentle. Okay, now I'm gonna explain why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. I want to make sure this is tight. You don't want to have too much leftover. It's good to have leftover. See, the way I just did this right now, I make sure that the line that is going to be cutting with the ripcord, it's towards my left. If you wanted it to save this molding, all you would have to do is just put it under the molding, and that will do it. Right here, you just got to push, that way your fiber line doesn't come out. Just work your way around. Every time I reach a corner, I like to make it as tight as possible. Okay. You want to make sure that that fiber line is tucked in right under the glass. It's very, very important. Very important. Otherwise, you could possibly cut somewhere where you didn't want it to cut through. You just want to cut between the urethane and the glass. Under between the urethane and the glass, and start to make my cutout now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and whatever I have left over, lace it around the Raptor. And now you see all these cracks, right? Well, yeah, they're through the outside, but the advantage of using the Raptor is that it continuously vacuuming itself up. I really like that. So like right now that I remove and remove the Raptor and had to put it somewhere else, it was that easy. Just place this tool there and it does it by itself. Okay, so if you ever jump into this little problem, okay, this is a good example. What happened here was I put the fiber line, I crossed it, so now I have to find if it goes towards the bottom, which it does. That could happen to you, and you'll feel the resistance as soon as you start cutting because you're pulling this line. But I mean, it was just a matter of flipping it under, and that was it. really nice, easy cutout. I'm using the ripcord. All right, so the way you could reposition this, you could hold this right here, just leave it there, or you could take it off if you like to. The way I just placed the cover allows me to make that cut all the way through the corner and come up the pillar. I like to reposition the tool one more time right here. And the same cover, I'm gonna just hold it with my hand, protect the pillar, and continue my cutout. Okay, so now I'm gonna be using my headliner cover. What I like about this is that you could hold it. It has this little kind of like a handle to hold it, and you can slide it really easy. Okay, so this is the fun part. Just reposition the tool and get ready to go on the other side. While you go around, the tool is ready to start cutting again. If you wonder how do you know when it's ready, once you use the tool a couple of times, you recognize the noise, the type of noise that it's making when it's fully vacuumed into the glass. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna place the ripcord on the side of the little suction cup. See, at one point it's going to come up from the bottom, like right now it's doing it. And that's a good thing. That's the advantage of having the smaller suction cup on the inside of the car. And just like that, you just have to be careful not to cross the lines. Like I showed you, it could happen, and it's a quick fix. So this is the Raptor, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once the glass is cut out. And you could also reuse the ripcord over and over and over. So at this point, I'm going to see if I'm going to set the glass with the hood open or with the hood closed. Yeah, I have a lot more clearance with the hood open. Okay, so remember I was telling you about the dam, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to be able to reuse it again right now. And that's a benefit of using the dash cover. It goes all the way down past the dam, and it allows you to be able to reuse it. So I don't want anybody stepping on it, so just so that it looks this nice bright red, that there's something there. So this is the cutout, beautiful cutout, no damage whatsoever anywhere. All right, so there's a few dust in there. I'm gonna blow it off. lint-free towel from Equalizer. I love using these towels, very useful. So just clean it. I do add a little bit of water to it. It's just plain water, just plain clean water. This is before I trim down the urethane. You just want to go nice and easy. Take your time. You only have to trim down once around the glass, so take your time. This is a very important part. Right here you're going to have seams, so you're going to have to apply primer to those seams, body seams. And it is very important for your blade to be sharp. All the urethane that fell in there, you want to vacuum that. You don't want to leave it there, because urethane doesn't decompose that easy. I'm a little sweaty. It's nice and humid, so I don't like to drip sweat over the bonding surface. I'm holding the handle with two hands in case it slips. I'm able to catch it with my other hand. I was told not to shake this primer anymore, and I'm just doing it because it has a little ball. I was told that this one I don't have to shake it either, just to be safe. Since it's uneven, you want to push the primer in there. That's it. I noticed that this molding was coming off when I first got to the job. Now on my pre-inspection, the end of it was coming off. Now I see why. So now I get to work on the glass again. So I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna use a little hook tool Okay, you want to start from the bottom. You want to start pulling towards you very slowly. Very slowly. And then you slide it down. So pretty much what I did was get the little hook tool and undo the clips. That releases the rain sensor. As you can see, there was no damage whatsoever to the rain sensor. And now I'm gonna save the acoustical down. In my shop I have 2 stands, so I usually have this on a stand. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, it usually is a little bit longer because I stretched it a little bit. Ready to set my glass in place. Ready to install the glass back in. That's what I meant. So you go through, you center it. You have to center it very careful, that way you don't touch and pull back again. You clip one side in. So remember this little pattern right here telling me where it goes. That fit pretty nice. Right here is going a little bit too high on the VIN number. Remember, you don't want to touch the bonding surface anymore. And here's one more tool, new, Power Push. This is the Power Push 5000. It has a 20 volt lithium ion battery. Very light, carbon fiber. Love it. Very nice looking design. And thank you, Power Push. Thank you, Equalizer. I'm happy to use tools that make a difference. They're very, very useful, very helpful. Okay, so ready to start shooting the urethane. I decided to have the hood up when applying the urethane. I like to go over the urethane. more time. Okay, so as I was telling you earlier, when I came in, the molding was coming off from right here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of urethane so that the molding doesn't come off. When you have a pretty nice seam, you could actually see it. You see the bottom of it and top of it, how it's overlapping. There's like a little sticky part on them, on these little setting blocks. But if it's not sticky anymore, just put it right along the urethane, and the urethane would hold it. This is a very important part, to have a proper setting. Like I said before, you could do everything, but if you don't have a proper setting, then you could be in trouble. As you see, this one I was able to set it to the top because of the molding, the type of molding that it has. You want it to be nice and flush along the body. Kind of like to put my finger in between to make sure I have the same distance on each side. Came out really nice. A nice setting. Remember that there's that acoustical dam underneath, so you want to push on it and those setting blocks. So you want to see, like, especially right here in the middle, see? You want to make sure the urethane is bonding properly on the urethane. A good time to plug in the rain sensor. You can see right here, there's a little nice fitting for that cable. The way I'm doing it, I'm pushing it up, and at the same time I'm guiding it with the rear view mirror. If it's not all the way up, then the cover won't fit properly. You really don't want it to come loose on you. So one side in first. And that's it. There it is. Nicely aligned. It's clipped in correctly. So the inside is now done. Remember that there's this little plastic that goes on there, so you want to be careful with it. Same thing with this side. I like to hold this in place because it kind of goes under, so to be nice, tightly fitted, you want to push on it. So you have to be detailed when you're doing this type of work. Like, everything has to fit just the way it was. See, I could have installed it with that lip on top of the other lip, but it actually goes underneath. So it's a matter of being patient. When you take your time, everything fits correctly. You want to hold it, 'cause sometimes it moves. So every time I like to check it, make sure that it's right where it's supposed to be. See how close to the bottom, to the hood is. So gotta test my rain sensor, make sure it's working. Double check before you do your complete, before you finalize everything. Want to make sure that you did put everything back in place. See that there's a little clip right there that goes under the glass, so you want to be careful with it. Make sure you put it under the glass. Okay, so now I could say that it's completely done. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. My name is Alfredo from Alfredo's Auto Glass in Corona, California. God bless.